Don't underestimate the power of a really good podcast. Welcome to another episode of Woody's Roundup. How you doing, Woody?
I'm doing great.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm doing what I got a quick question for you.
Okay.
That it's been on my mind all day. Just wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Why is Quasimodo great at solving crimes?
I have no idea.
He always has a hunch.
Oh, you didn't.
I barely held it in for that one. I
That's
was
good.
giggling the whole time.
So I'm excited about this podcast because it's all about Disney villains.
And we're on day 36 of quarantine.
Yeah, maybe it's
We
made
haven't
us...
seen light. We haven't seen the outside world in quite some time. If you're out there, respond.
I don't know what just happened, but, you know.
We're losing it. We've been
We-
we've been cooped up too long.
Yeah, this is what happens. This is how you become a villain. I'm pretty much...
This is it. We're on the road to villainry.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna have to edit that one out.
So I thought we would start out by playing a little game, and we'll see how this goes. But here's the rules: you pass 3 times, and it's over. So keep score.
Quit playing games with my heart now.
So here's how it works. Did you know? Now I don't think this counts for Frozen 2 or Onward. I really don't know how many this actually encompasses, like how recent, but I just read that there are 89 Disney villains.
Really?
So I'm going to make sure I find out the right number on that, but that is what I recently read.
There really wasn't a villain for Frozen 2. You can't really count that person as a villain anyway. So
Yeah.
you're pretty good, and we haven't seen Onward yet. And I don't.
No.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. That's a great.
So
one.
I don't know. I mean, it just that number is the number one that came up, and
89 villains.
89. So we'll double check that. But here we go. 3 passes, and you're out.
Okay.
So keep score. Add up the ones you get right.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you the villain. You give me the movie.
Gotcha.
Here we go.
All right.
Hans,
Frozen.
Maleficent,
Wow. Sleeping Beauty.
Ursula.
The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, this is rapid fire. Let's go.
Yeah.
Evil Queen,
Snow White.
Scar,
Lion King.
Jafar,
Aladdin.
Gaston.
Beauty and the
Did
Beast.
you see how French that was?
That was good.
Yeah. Shere Khan,
Jungle Book.
Hades,
Hercules.
Hercules, Captain Hook,
Boy, Peter Pan.
Mother Gothel,
Tangled.
Frollo,
Oh gosh, the Weirdy.
Hellfire.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Weirdy.
Little
Hunchback
rapey,
of
little
Notre
rapey.
Dame.
Notre Dame,
Yeah, that one.
King Candy.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Good job.
Thank you.
I didn't think you were gonna get that one. Pete.
Maybe several, but we'll go with a Goofy movie.
Ooh.
Oh,
Coming in the clutch.
Oh, good.
Cruella de Vil.
101 Dalmatians.
Good job. Here we go. I'm gonna get you with this one.
Oh boy.
Zarina.
Yeah, the one that
Okay, pass.
pass.
Lady Tremaine.
Oh, Lady Tremaine. Cinderella.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Anastasia.
And it's. Oh my gosh. I'd pass.
You're almost. It's
I'm
almost
out.
over.
Almost done.
Morgana.
Oh, come on.
Are you out?
I'm out. Yep.
So you got 16.
Yeah.
All right, my turn.
Okay. Okay. So you were handing me Morgana. What is that one from?
That's from The Little Mermaid 2. It's Ursula's sister.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Where do I see the
Scroll.
Yeah, but then where do I find out what movie they're in so I know if you're right or wrong? Okay,
If
I'll
I
know.
don't know. Okay.
You'll pass. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Ka.
Jungle Book.
Yzma.
Emperor's New Groove.
Iago.
Aladdin.
John Clayton.
Tarzan.
Oh, I thought you were going to get that one. I don't know how to say this like you. Mordieu.
Mordieu. That's brave.
Oh, here's one of your favorites. You're going to get this one. Mad Madam Mim.
Oh, she is my favorite because she turns into a chicken.
Yes.
Mim. Sword and Stone.
Shinzai, Banzai, and Ed.
They are the hyenas from Lion King.
Look at you go. Mr. Smee.
Peter Pan.
All right. I hope I pronounced this one right. Shan Yu?
Shan Yu
Shan Yu.
from Mulan.
Yeah, you see, you're good at this. We can go on forever. Randall Boggs.
Monsters Inc.
Madame Medusa.
She's the rescuers.
Queen of Hearts.
Alice in Wonderland.
Ratigan.
Oh, Great Mouse Detective. Ratigan.
Governor Ratcliffe.
Pocahontas.
Okay, this is a good one. Honest John and Gideon.
Honest John and Gideon. Oh man, I don't know.
Pass. That's a pass.
That's a pass.
Syndrome.
Oh, The Incredibles.
That's a good one. That is such a good one. Let's go to Drizella Tremaine. Oh man.
Cinderella.
Oh, you're gonna love this one. Cedric the Sorcerer.
Cedric?
Mm-hmm.
Cedric the Sorcerer?
Yes.
Cedric.
Yeah.
Cedric?
Cedric or
Cedric?
oh come on, you were like hooked on this show for a while.
A show?
Yeah, it's a show. You were hooked on it.
Cedric the Sorcerer. Oh, Tangled, the series. Is it?
Nope.
Oh no, that's
No.
not it.
Of Avalon.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, so that's 2 passes. You get one more. All right, Helga Sinclair.
You actually sung a song.
I did. I apologize, to everybody listening
Helga
right now.
Sinclair. Shoot, I'm losing it. Is this my third?
Yep, this is it.
Okay.
This is it.
I don't know. Man.
Pass. Good job. I didn't keep count. Did you keep count of yours?
No.
All right, I'll just say you won. You did a great job.
Who was Sinclair?
You
Who's
did
that?
a
Helga.
Great job.
Let me see
Bab.
the picture.
Whoops, I exited. There we go. So that was
Thanks.
fun.
That was fun.
So you're in a villain mood right now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, all about the villains. I noticed that on.
Oh, she was Cedric the Sorcerer is not Elena of Avalar. It is.
I just make up names.
It's Sophia the First. That's hysterical.
Oh, hey.
She looks like Helga Sinclair. Looks like she's like the animation looks like it's from like that movie with the guy
Like
that
Atlantis
yes,
or Treasure
what's
Planet.
Treasure
or something?
Planet.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah, I'm just making up names. Paul the Lumberjack. Didn't get it.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Villain mood.
Villain mood. So I recently got a book. I posted it on our Instagram page today called Disney Villains, the Evilest of Them All. And it's great. It's just this little, it's like an 8x6 book. It's cute and it's hardback and it's got all the villains. They give the villains a chance to explain themselves, which I think is great.
They're just misunderstood heroes.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
And so basically it's fun. It's fun. You guys should pick it up. I got it for like $3 or something. It's probably an ex-library book or something. But what I wanted to do was just to kind of talk about villains and talk about how Woody and I disagree on some of these so-called villains. Okay, so let's just break it down.
We disagree more passionately about this than politics.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we were in the car and I thought we could do a whole episode just on villains because you have sympathy and empathy and all these other things for villains. And sometimes I'm like, there's no way.
I think secretly I am a villain.
But I don't. We'll just start it out. You ready out the gate?
Hit me with
I
it.
don't consider Oogie Boogie a villain.
All right, this is where we had to stop in the car because I disagree. For one, okay.
No. Let me give my
All right,
argument
go ahead.
first.
You go first.
Then you can bring up whatever you want to bring up.
Yeah, I'll bring it up.
He says, with the same logic, there are other villains that are excused, which I somewhat agree with, but I don't agree with. I don't think Oogie Boogie is a villain. Here's why. Because I feel like he wasn't trying to take down anything. He's just a Halloween Town resident who happens to get excited when he's dropped Mr. Santa Claus. Okay?
He kidnapped.
He did kidnap
He
him.
placed the order
No.
for old Santa Sauce
He
to
did
get
not.
kidnapped.
He didn't place any order. Jack placed the order, and the 3 little kids go out and hunt him down. Mr. Oogie Boogie.
I'm good. All right,
You-
you just
So
let me know.
then they say Mr. Oogie Boogie will be so excited when we bring Santa Claus. They drop Santa Claus down that chute, and then Oogie Boogie's like, Santa Claus, oh, what have we
I'm
here?
going to capitalize on this because I'm a villain.
No, he's not a villain. He's just like a surprise. What if you got dropped a surprise?
All right, so, okay.
He was not interfering with anybody. He won't hurt anyone's feelings. All of a sudden, he gets this random Santa Claus dropped in his den.
Santa Claus. Maybe you're a villain. Maybe you're secretly a villain. So, look, all right.
I need to know who agrees with me out
All right,
there.
listen, here, all right, it is a basic, for one, regardless of your views, right? If Disney places a character in the villains after party, whatever, or during Not So Scary, the thing, that automatically makes them a villain, okay?
I
And
don't
Oogie
think-
Boogie has been in it. So Oogie Boogie is by definition of Disney standards in the villain parade and whatever.
Yeah,
he is the
but-
villain. Okay, so
Oh.
take that apart, okay? If
Well,
you,
you're not going to put him in the Epcot Flower Festival. He's a little scary
yeah,
looking,
but like he's
that
not.
doesn't make him a villain.
Yes, he is because he is a villain. Villains. All right, this is a whole nother. This could be a whole nother podcast. But like, just because you say villain, it doesn't necessarily mean a bad guy. That means just they could be misunderstood
Well,
because
that's what I'm
there's
saying.
all right, just like Gaston. All right, how do you say him?
Gaston.
Gaston. All right, just like Gaston. Okay, so yeah, you can not like him because of his ego, blah blah blah. But technically, if you make a checklist, he had a crush on Belle. Who could
but he
could
had
fault
ill
him?
intentions.
Yeah, you could disagree with his method and his attitude and his personality. Yes. However, he had a crush on Belle.
No.
She fell in love with the Beast, and he
You're
looked at the
forgetting-
Beast.
You're forgetting what Gaston did.
He looked at the Beast as a threat to the townspeople. So, was Gaston misunderstood?
No, he kidnapped Belle's father and put him in a mental asylum.
he had good reasons for
Oh,
it,
he did
though.
not.
See,
Crazy
but
old
everybody,
boys.
and like you could do any if you go
Did
by
Oogie
that.
Boogie lock anybody up?
If you go
No.
by that logic, you could make excuses for every villain.
can't.
Every villain has an argument except for
Frollo.
He's a creep.
Creepy McCreeper.
Yeah, you need to lock him up because he's
Yeah,
but
but he's like an uncomfortable.
he is like, oh, it is weird to watch. You fast forward through that song.
So, who would you say is your favorite villain? Like,
Oh, my favorite villain, I would have to say, I have two.
okay,
I have a hard time narrowing it down. If you have me pinned against the wall, I would have to say Ursula.
Mhm.
Ursula is like, I
You're
think
classic,
she's
man.
everything. She is like when her songs hit, like you feel it
Yep.
and you're like, yeah. And then like example, like in the ride at that, at
Uh-huh.
Disney World, when you get to her animatronic, it's like, yes.
I know, it
you know,
is
so,
cool.
So she's awesome. Plus, like, she just has this, plus she is a villain.
Mm.
Like I prefer, if you're going to be a bad guy in a movie, one, you got to have something purple, purple or green.
Yeah.
But like, you've got to have that villainry, whatever you call it. Like you've got to be like horns, or you got to be a dragon, or you got to
Sure.
have something. And she has everything.
Yeah.
And then the end battle with the boat, like, she's just awesome. And then I love Princess and the Frog,
Dr. Facilier.
Dr. Facilier.
Shadow Man.
one,
Who been messing with the Shadow Man?
one. That's really good. One, I love Keith David, the guy that does the voice.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was in Gargoyles and other things.
Yes.
Like, he's just legit. But like, I like him because he's so out there and just like,
Y'all want some candy?
she's here all night, folks. Enjoy our other podcast, Impersonations by Laura. For Laura.
I just have
with
such a
Laura.
good time. I'm sorry. Yes, he is good, right? He is good.
He's a good villain. So Ursula and him, the other ones, like, of course, like, you got classics like Maleficent.
Mm-hmm.
She's great. I love her because, like, and at the end, like, she transforms into, you know, like, she takes on that villain role. But some of the other ones, I don't like, like, Cruella is a villain, but for me, it's like,
Hello. She wants to skin puppies.
yeah, I mean, that's horrible, of course.
Oh my gosh.
But, like, I wouldn't want her on my t-shirt, Like, I want, like Ursula.
Anita
Like,
Darling.
Ursula wants to be queen, and she wants to take over things. But she did give Ariel a chance. Ariel blew her chance, so technically, Ursula may not be a villain.
No. You cannot make that
Ursula
argument.
gave her a chance, gave her a time limit. Ariel did not maximize and was not efficient with her time. So
here we go. We can relate to all villains, don't you think?
yes, they're just misunderstood heroes.
Absolutely.
That's what villains are. That's why Disney is so good. Like, that's why their movies, I feel like, especially the classics, because a little bit of you can identify with the motives of the villain. So you have sympathy for them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just this, except for Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That was like,
no sympathy.
if you got some sympathy for him, like, we need to talk.
Yeah.
But like, you've got a little, you're like, oh, okay, I kind of understand why they did that. And like, you got sympathy for their demise usually at the end. So that's why I love those classic villains. But the newer movies, they're getting away from that. Like, you can tell they, like, I don't know, like Frozen 2 really didn't have one. Some of the latest Pixar movies didn't really have one. They're dealing with more, like, I guess, human issues, which is good. But I miss that, like, epic villain song, and
Oh yeah.
they gotta be careful because we need animatronics. We need more villain
That's right.
animatronics.
So one of the villains we were talking about earlier was Hades.
He's
We
one of my
love
favorites
him.
because I love James Woods.
Oh yeah.
And like, Hades is awesome. Like, he's an underrated villain. Him and Yzma,
Oh
like,
yeah.
they are like the best.
Is this my real voice? Oh my gosh.
He's great.
He is good. He is good. I love it when he comes on the scene. I think, and the only thing that bothered me about Hercules, and I remember my sister loved this movie. You know how you have a movie that you probably walked in on your sister or brother watching all the time, and I'm like, how can you
why do
be
you like
watching
that?
that again?
You're weird.
Hercules was her.
Yeah.
She would watch this movie so many times that she wore out the VHS tape. For me, it was The Lion King and The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
I've probably seen those movies 1,000 times, and
Yeah.
I'm not joking. As an adult, it'd probably be The Princess and the Frog. I can't stop watching that
Yeah,
one. That's my one.
Yeah, but that, I'm gonna tell you what, Princess and the Frog, I love it. But there's yet to been a time where we've watched that end scene
I know.
doesn't get me,
I know.
and it hurts.
We can't talk about it.
Hurts every time.
We talked about it.
I'm
I think we talked
I'm
about
cry on this podcast.
So Hades is definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, Hades is great.
Because I love those movies where you love the villain too.
Yeah. You identify with them.
Mhm.
They're fun, and like you kind of like, okay, I don't mind what you're doing.
The one villain that I don't really enjoy at all, other than when he's like Prince Abubu, is Jafar.
Oh,
He
see,
kind of bothers
No,
me.
see, all right. Here's where we're gonna have to have that episode about the live action stuff. I did not like the live action.
Well, no.
Well, nothing about it. No offense to the actor that played Jafar. I just didn't like the movie. The cartoon though, Jafar, man, come on. He's awesome.
No, I
He's
tell you-
intimidating. He's like,
There are those Disney movies though that like they kind of scratch at you a little bit. Like it's like they scratch and scratch and scratch, and you're like, ugh. And for me, it's like Iago bothers me a little bit. It's just like I watch these movies and I get it. Like I loved them as a kid, but now as a 37-year-old, I'm kind of like,
yeah,
I don't know.
That's an annoying character. That sidekick, I don't really like that sidekick anymore, right?
And I think too, like the Snow White, and you go all the way back to the very beginning, and you have the evil queen. Like, come on.
Well, you have to. All right, so some of those, except for Sleeping Beauty, I think Sleeping Beauty, and you can argue with me on this, Sleeping Beauty is a true timeless Disney movie. Because, and I'm not downing any other ones, don't get me wrong, but like Snow White, you kind of got to be in a mood to watch it. Me, personally. because it's old and it's like you have to be in that vintage mood.
Yeah.
But like Sleeping Beauty though, you can put like especially the new remastered Blu-ray.
Oh yeah.
It is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
The story is clean, short, like all that stuff. So like
It's
yeah.
easy to follow. You don't get too emotional. You know, it's just one of those beautiful movies.
Yeah.
And the fairies are cute. I mean, just everything it has everything. It checks every box. That's why it's in my top 3 movies of all time.
And again, that remastered Blu-ray, like they went back and like if you all right, so on streaming it's one thing.
Yeah.
Like it's streaming. But if you do have the hard copy Blu-ray that was redone, it like the colors are just like it's gorgeous. The artwork, it's gorgeous anyway, but like the way they just took the originals, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
From a
for
technical standpoint.
Yeah. So another villain that people say, you actually said it, that isn't a villain. You argued with me is Mother Gothel.
Yeah.
But see, she has ill intentions. Like her.
I-
No, she kidnapped the child.
yeah, but Santa Claus was kidnapped.
Oh.
And he's not a
gosh.
villain.
Santa Claus didn't kidnap
She-
anyone.
Listen though, she was just
Santa
trying.
Claus was kidnapped.
Mother Gothel was just trying to get the Fountain of Youth, the golden hair thing.
Oh, okay.
And so her intention was, I just want to live forever. And that's why she stole that little baby, that little Shug.
Okay, so
and
that's all right.
Well, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying you can identify
I
with
can't.
her motives.
You are seriously.
She just is not like a typical villain for me because
Well,
she cared.
there are endearing moments.
Yes,
Yes.
she is misguided 100% because you can't lock away somebody in a tower and that be okay. I totally get it.
Okay.
However,
Scaring me a little bit. Like, who did I marry over here?
However, like really, like you could kind of see. Well, all right, I could kind of see what her intentions were. They're misguided, yes, but like she didn't really like she's just not the typical villain that's like feeding a poison apple,
Right.
and like here I want you to go to sleep forever. Like that's terrifying. Or like Cinderella Tremaine,
Mhm.
right? I think she's probably one of the most villain people there is because she's just mean.
Oh, yeah.
And like just horrible and like wants no good for Cinderella, or it doesn't even give Cinderella a chance.
But she's absolutely like, there are people out there today.
Yes.
Because she didn't have magic. She
Mm-mm.
didn't have any of that stuff. So it's like the truest villains, the scariest ones, are ones like her that
Yeah.
you absolutely.
There's a little real life in it.
Oh, yeah.
Just like a
Frollo.
Hunchback. Yeah,
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you haven't seen that for a while.
Oh,
Go
they
ahead
know.
and hit that one
They
up.
know.
But like, yeah, exactly. Like the ones I think the movies that I love the most is where the villains are over the top.
Yep. Yep.
And that I know that I couldn't bump into them on the street.
Right.
Like, but the ones that are kind of like the movies that are like, I have a little hard time following, are the ones that are very human,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, hey, I kind of know somebody like that,
That's right.
right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So those are the ones that like, I don't know.
Yeah. I like what you said though about, when Disney chooses them to be a part of the parade, or it's like it doesn't matter what Disney does, as soon as Disney chooses that villain for a certain event or a certain cookie or a certain cupcake, it's like it renews your.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think one from like, cause marketing me for one, like Maleficent is one of my favorites because of the colors,
Yeah.
and like she's easy to like, this is a villain. I've
Mhm.
got the thing, the horns or whatever, and the Queen of Hearts,
Yeah.
great villain, like over the top, so crazy that it's like, yeah, I kind of like that. Ursula, but like the other ones, like I was surprised. Rewind with me to like Not So Scary,
Okay.
right? When we our first time,
Yeah.
our first Not So Scary, and we're watching the what's it called? I don't know. I don't
Boo
even.
to You parade or
Yeah, but no, it's the show.
Okay.
The
Just
yeah, everybody knows.
Spectacular.
Yeah, it's the
or
show
whatever.
there. People, if you remember the name, just let me know. But like when we saw Hunchback
Frollo
yeah,
come out.
Frollo come out, I was like, what? They
Oh,
used
yeah.
him. That's an awesome costume, big head and everything. But I was a little surprised.
It was like, okay, Hook. I remember Hook.
Yeah,
I
Hook's a
remember
great villain,
Queen
yep.
of Hearts, Frollo, Facilier.
yeah,
Um,
Maleficent.
Maleficent came out. Evil Queen
Yep,
came
Evil
out.
Queen. And then,
Cruella.
yeah, and then,
Tremaine.
yeah,
She was there.
she was there. And
That's 8 of them. That's probably what it was.
yeah,
8.
that sounds about right. But I was surprised. I was like, Now, a little bit of that may be because the costuming is hard to do for like an Ursula. Like you really,
Sure.
you
Yeah.
really would have a hard time.
Well,
to...
she lives underwater, and I think Disney,
Oh,
they're
good
not
point.
gonna.
They're not gonna bring her out.
Whereas Ariel was given the gift.
Now the Oogie Boogie costume, he was great.
Yes.
That costume, see, he's a villain.
No, because Jack Skellington hosts the Spooktacular, and he's not a villain.
Well, he hosted,
He's just-
but
No, but listen. Well, I guess you could say he is a villain because he does
might be.
go putting rats in people's stockings.
he's misguided, misunderstood.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
I
But
love.
villains are my favorite.
I
Villains
know.
are my favorite. And that one of the what was that show? That House of Mouse villains.
Uh-huh.
The villains. That was the best. That
Yep.
was the best.
The villains took over House of Mouse.
Yeah.
That was good. So we talked about like would be so cool. I don't think that Disney needs a whole park devoted to villains. I
No.
don't think that. But I have said this, and I'll say it again. It was one of our very early podcasts that I would love to see Disney do a cruise ship that
Oh yeah.
was just
villains.
yeah, and I think I even named it like the Disney Revenge or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. All I know is couldn't you see that ship like
Well,
and all of how I mean, wouldn't that just be amazing?
and you can tell that they lean more on the villains now than they used to. So like, I mean, because you can tell with the marketing when you go into the park, like the villain merchandise has
Oh, yeah.
increased and increased, and the villain events, like now it's not just on Halloween. They have
Right.
villain after party nights in the
Mhm.
middle of the summer.
Villains After Dark.
After Dark,
or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so like you can tell like that one they're leaning more to that. I don't know that they're necessarily getting away from the princesses or the prince or whatever. Not really, but like villains, they have more events for that. So
Mhm.
why not have an awesome villain roller coaster
Oh yeah.
or just
sure.
a villain only ride? And we also said they should do the House of Mouse, even if it's in Disney Springs.
Oh yeah.
House of Mouse villain, like make it a club.
Yeah.
Then make it a villain edition. We would love that.
Oh,
like
we
that is
would.
like that. Like just imagine like the atmosphere that you could create with like a Hades with his head glowing in the
Oh,
corner,
yeah.
Ursula and her. Like it just would be unreal.
It
Like,
would. And then even just like the menu items, like what you could do with food that had, some
Yeah.
special man.
Well, my favorite part of the aerial ride is when you go into
Oh, yeah.
Ursula's part. That's the best part.
She's great.
So that's what makes the Disney movies, I think, one of the things. There's several. One of the things is that the villains are so great. Like that's one of the hooks in the movie because they're the unique characters. Sometimes the other, like the prince, they're kind of they're not. They don't add a whole lot to it.
Right. And we talked about that. Like you love to hate them, you
Yeah.
know, like how I think Ursula tops the list as far as for me for sure, and Cruella because I stinking love her. And I mean, she wants to skin dogs, and I love dogs, you know me. But it's like I just love how we watched a cartoon not too long ago, and it had her in it, and then we watched
It was a sequel.
oh,
it was
it. That's right.
Yeah,
And it had-
was one of those direct to DVD
Yeah.
sequels.
Yeah, like patches.
Patches something.
Patches.
I can't remember.
Oh man,
that's-
adventure.
It was good.
Yeah.
Well, but I will say this, okay? Like some of the sequels, like I liked the Ariel sequels, okay? Because they brought in like Ursula's sister,
Yeah.
and it wasn't Ursula. I don't know a correct word to
Well,
say.
she was dead.
Yes, but yeah. Like, don't bring them back. Like,
Yeah.
I think the first movie,
but like Cruella was on house arrest.
I
Do you
know,
remember that? She
it
had
was
an ankle
funny.
bracelet.
It was kind of funny, but in the end, it's like
she had like
you
a restraining order or something.
Leave the big villains for the movie, like the big
Really?
movies. But like with the direct to DVD sequels, I'm okay with a B villain. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
have their like third cousin be the villain. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, totally okay. That was a good one though. All this, one of my favorite direct to DVD sequels is Lion King 1.5.
I think that's the one that like you've seen and I haven't.
It is awesome.
I know. I can't even call myself a Disney fan. I'm ashamed.
Oh my gosh, it's just so different. Like the way they approached that storytelling was so unique, and it's just like, wow, I wish they would do more movies like they do. Like a 1.5 of all the movies.
Isn't it done sort of like Mystery Science Theater?
No, it's done like they show you the in between. Like
Okay.
like you have the Lion King, right?
Right.
Like that's the storyline, but then this one you're following Timon and Pumbaa, and like you're seeing some behind the scenes stuff. Like they're watching this scene happen.
Well, isn't that like Mystery Science?
Yeah, kind of. But you're in the story, and it's just
Yeah.
you're right. It is a good combination. It's just funny. It's so funny.
I think that's great. I think some of the other ones we talked about were like, see, when we were going through this list, I'm thinking, okay, so remember your movie, your number one movie, the ones that you kind of feel sorry for a little bit. For me, I feel sorry for King John, like Little John. You know what I'm talking about? What's his?
And Robin Hood.
Yeah, I'm mommy. You know, and he like sucks his thumb.
That's a great.
I
villain.
feel so sorry
They
for
should
him.
Put him in the parade because he's a good kind of like.
I think it's hard to put an animal.
threatening villain.
Don't you think so? I think it's like Disney's hard. It's hard to get an animal
It is.
in a costume.
Because you've got to nail the costume or it just kills the kills the illusion. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's one that I feel sorry for. Like
Yeah.
I'm like in the end, I'm like,
Aw.
oh, yeah.
Oh, somebody help him.
I know. And there is a moment though. There is a moment when, you know, you're watching Princess and the Frog, and his friends on the other side are dragging him down. He's like, I'm not
Yeah.
ready. I'm not ready.
I know it's like, oh,
And you, for a moment, you're kind of like, man,
oh,
this is tough. Like,
poor guy.
yeah.
But then you see Ray, and then it's like,
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're like, get in there. Get in that cemetery.
yeah.
Shadow Man don't lay Ray low. Oh, that'll get ya. All right. Well, I think we can wrap up this villain episode. Are you good, Woody?
I'm good.
Thanks for
Villain talk is always fun.
It is fun. You guys, please comment. Please let us know about your favorite Disney villains. We'd love to hear from you. Send us your comments. Send us your comments, questions, concerns. Liberty. And we will talk to you guys on the next episode.